Hi there, I'm Dennis Velko with OutBüro, and I really appreciate you signing up for this informational short video series about how Americans and people residing in the United States either don't have health insurance still today and are considering dropping their health insurance. Now, again, briefly, what we talked about is how even like my sister who has some major health issues where she has to go to the doctors on a quarterly basis to get tests and have some medications. For her as a cosmetologist, small business owner, for her to cover herself and her teenage son, it costs over $800 a month in health insurance just really to be used in a catastrophic manner because so many people can't afford to have health insurance with reasonable deductibles annually. Her annual deductible is a whopping $5,000. And even though she has ongoing medical issues, she still has a hard time reaching that. So one day, a few months ago, she, over the dinner table, was just like, why even have health insurance? Why bother? Why be paying monthly premiums, $800 and $900 a month? To receive essentially no benefits, except of course if it were a major issue, major like a car accident or her health really took a major nosedive or so forth, where she'll never reach that deductible. So lots of people, possibly like you, are considering their options. And we're going to go over very briefly here, but if that happens to be someone like you are not alone. Because in 2016, we saw only, there was 10.6% of Americans without health insurance. That was a whopping 27.5 million people. Yeah, you're not alone. At the end of 2017, that number jumped about a percentage and a half to 12.2%, increasing the numbers to 31.6 million people. Now, some new studies have recently come out, again from Mercury Insurance, and there are some more as well. But just with Mercury Insurance in California, with their own customer base, they recently did a survey. It was about 6 weeks ago that they came out with this small study, and it showed that nearly 250,000 current customers are strongly considering dropping their health insurance. Now, partly is because the American Affordable Care Act, sometimes called Obamacare, as of January 2019, no longer mandates that you have health insurance, so you are no longer getting penalized on an annual basis on your taxes for not having health insurance. You know, the system is kind of broke, but you still need your options. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is some of the coverages that you could possibly have for yourself and your family. And if you're a small business owner, you could also offer to your employees at no cost to you. So having a wide variety of services available is pretty important because from even a month to month, you never know what you might need. Like I can have allergies and so forth, and that can turn into head cold. So I sound a little funny right now because I'm just getting over one right now. And, you know, it went on for over 2.5 weeks. So I finally broke down and had to go to my doctor in order to get a prescription to help knock out this sinus infection that I was having. So I do sound a little weird. So right now I'm in the same boat that you are. So let's take a look at, you know, the kinds of services that you and I all need, and being able to have access to a proven high quality network of doctors for doctor visits, hospitalization, your prescriptions, both when you go to your local pharmacy, Walgreens, CVS, or somewhere else, but also having mail-in. So especially for those who are having regular prescriptions, it can be a lot, it can even reduce your costs further by utilizing a mail-in and call-in and online prescription services. So obviously, sometimes you have to have some labs, some blood work and so forth, MRI and imaging as well. I actually had to have an MRI about a year ago, and boy, that was not cheap. Wish I had a good plan in place prior to that. Looking at dermatology for skin issues. I live in Florida, fair skin, blue eyes, and my family has a history of skin cancers due to that. So having dermatology, you know, it's not a vanity issue. You know, you're thinking, oh, you know, you just to reduce acne, of course. Teenagers sometimes need that, and even adults. But think as you're aging and where you live and your skin types, and even though you might not be out in the sun a lot, that kind of a service, having it available to you, knowing that you can go to a dermatologist without needing a referral and have some pre-negotiated discounts and so forth, so that you can take care of whatever needs that you have. Having dental, obviously, hello, no one, no, I won't get into all of that. Gotta be careful what I say here. Vision care, I wear contacts, readers, glasses, and so forth. I just purchased some glasses myself, literally about 3 months ago. Went into a carrier and had a prescription done, ordered contacts and so forth, and lo and behold, guess what? The company that I went to is on this plan. So had I had this OutBüro care plan prior to me going there about 3 months ago, I could have saved over 50% on my overall cost. Wow. Looking at holistic medicine as well, looking at chiropractic care, especially for all of us who, or not all of us, but many of us who work at computers, on the computers, and you're kind of over and you're hunched and you're, typing away. I don't know about you, but boy, this middle back right up here is just a nemesis for me. So every now and then I like to go into a chiropractor, once a month or twice a month or so, get that cracked. And I also do some home stretching and so forth to help prevent that. But, we get busy and we forget that routine. So every now and then I myself need to go in and get this loosened up and popped up so that I can continue focusing on work, and instead of taking ibuprofen and so forth for the irritation and pain. Telemedicine, really huge. Now, obviously, if you have a broken arm and so forth, you're going to go to the emergency room or urgent care or something like that. But had I had this particular plan in place, instead of me going all the way to a regular doctor's office, just for a sinus infection, what telemedicine is for those non-emergency situations at 24 hours a day. You can talk to a nurse or a doctor, depending on the level of issues that you have. You can be on your smartphone like right now, or on your laptop and so forth, and have a video conference call with a nurse and or a doctor, again, depending on your needs. And they can immediately, after that consultation, send in your prescription, if you need a prescription, to your local pharmacist. So you can literally, pick up the phone, dial them, and speak again to a registered nurse or a doctor, and the next morning or within an hour or so, go pick up that prescription. So, and by the way, that's included. So speaking to a doctor just costs a very small fee above. And by the way, for me doing this recently, it's less than a third of to have an actual doctor on the telemedicine line. So a cost savings, a convenience factor. You don't have to miss work to do that. You can talk to them over breakfast, swing by the pharmacist, pick up your medication, and still make it to work on time. So just some thoughts there. And one of the big areas where this plan has in place is advocacy, patient advocacy. What that does is when you do have an issue, for example, you break your arm, you go to the emergency room, you have a $10,000 bill, for example, just using round numbers. Let's say it's between $7,000 to $10,000. I'm going to use 10 for this. So, they had to set your bones, wrap it, and so forth, and they pull their costs. So let's say again it's $10,000. When you are done with that, you contact the advocacy group. They then intervene and begin negotiating with the medical provider, the hospital, or the urgent care center to reduce that bill. There's one example of a woman on this program who had a $48,000 hospitalization bill. After the patient advocacy program took over, they were able to reduce that down to around $4,000. I mean, come on, that is huge. So, it literally could mean possibly going into bankrupt or not. So again, and sometimes what these plans can do, they're pre-negotiated with a very wide and large network. And in our next video, we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So if you would like a health plan option at a very affordable rate with outstanding networks and services that you need, where you pay your cash. This is not an insurance program. It is a pre-negotiated rates program. So, if you were to, for example, on a monthly basis or every time you receive your paycheck or you get paid by your clients, whatever type of work that you do, let's say, as an example, not required, but you throw 100, 2, 3, whatever you can afford into a savings account. That could be used for anything, obviously. It could be used to fix your vehicle. It could also be used to pay for future medical expenses. And then what this program does is, for a very low fee, you can be part of this pre-negotiated discount system with quality doctors, thousands and thousands of doctors throughout the United States, hospitals again, a prescription network and so forth, and you can even use your local pharmacist. Lab work, dermatology, dental, vision, chiropractic, telemedicine, huge time saver for you for those small things like I'm dealing with right now. And again, advocacy. So when you do incur a large bill, they go in and try their best with a wonderful track record of reducing your bills significantly. So hope this is of interest to you. And by the way, this is for you, your family, and or you can offer this kind of program to your employees at no cost to you. It's just whether they choose to participate or not. And being a small business owner, when you have 2 or 3 or even 10 employees or something like that, where you're under that 50 employee mark, and so you aren't required by law to provide health insurance, this is something that you're able to offer your employees as an enticement to provide something for them to help them reduce their own health cost, but it literally costs you nothing. Amazing. That is to offer it to them. If they choose to participate, they also then pay the very small monthly premium. But we're going to get into that in the next video. Hope you're still interested, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.